Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome to day 7 of our Clutter Clearing Challenge. If you are just joining us, welcome to you. We have 6 full days of clutter clearing, so you've got plenty of time. If you have been with us and you've only done a day or two or 1 or 2 projects, that's totally fine too. Hey, anything we do in the next few days to clear out space for the new year is a welcome and an exciting endeavor. So pat yourself on the back, be grateful, and let's dive into today. I start each of these days with a 2-minute peace meditation just to get us centered and quiet, and then I call in the light. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, so you can just close your eyes and relax if you're listening to this on recording or if you're here live. And just really just take in the breath, and there's nothing you have to do here. Do your best to let go of thoughts if they come. Trust they'll be there when you need them, or if you really need to, you can keep a little pad of paper handy nearby, which is what I always do in meditation because things come to me often, and I don't like to loop them continuously, so I just jot it down. Dear great creator, master organizer of all that is. Ooh, I get chills just thinking of you and the divine perfection of this universe, how there's order in the chaos, and even the great scientists have discovered this. Everything that holds this universe together, that holds our planet together, that holds our bodies together, we know there's a master design behind it. And we're so grateful to be able to participate in all that is. Help us make the divine right choices that best serve our healing, our bodies, our minds, our hearts, our spirits, because we know when we do our own inner work, it ripples out to the rest of the world. We're so grateful for this opportunity to declutter together, to clear the space for grace, for vision, for inspired action, for health and well-being, for joy, for fun, for spontaneous exuberance. For this and so much more, we're grateful, and so it is. It came to me in the meditation this morning that Spirit is the great organizer. Yeah, just like really touches me to think of that. And there are many times when I rally against the design of this universe and all the stuff that's going on right now, and the polarization and the mean-spiritedness, which I really don't even want to put spirit in the same word as mean, but because it's not, but it's like this, it's really because we've gotten away from ourselves. We're so disconnected. And I do believe space and the things we have in our space directly impact that. The more things you have in your space that you don't absolutely love, the more that drags and pulls down your energy. And so you can have an excess of things in some areas. Like, I'm not going to say everyone should be a minimalist, because that's not really the design for everyone. Although I do greatly admire minimalists, and they think there is a lot of benefit to being a minimalist, because stuff has energy. So the more stuff you have in the space, the more energy you're taking on. Even if you love it, it's energy that consumes space around you. And so for a minimalist that lives with very few things, like monks, if you think of them and how they lived, they had a very peaceful existence, because was not a lot they had to maintain. They had to maintain their body, and you make sure they ate. Maybe they had one or two robes, right? They didn't have a lot of anxiety over choice of what to wear, or what jewelry or accessories to put on, or what lotions to use on their face, or what toothbrush, to use. They just were simply being. And in that, of course, I think there is definitely a nirvana, a reaching of a peak of experience of just knowing that we carry everything inside. And it just reminds me of this story of when I was a kindergarten teacher, and I had all these wings and all these props, and I had to bring them all to Mexico. And I remember the director, Jerry, saying, "Wow, you really brought a lot of stuff. I don't know if there's anyone that's brought this much stuff before." And then he saw me dressing up for the kindergartners in my little outfits, and he's like, "Oh, I get it. I get what that was." And it was great. And there was a time when all of that served me and the people that I loved and was of support to. It was great. And I remember when I left Mexico, it was very symbolic of me to let all of that go, to know that I carried what I needed inside, and I didn't need all the additional props. I still wear my heart sunglasses often, but other than that, I didn't need all the extra bindies and jewels all the way down my arm, and all of that to express I'm grateful for the part of me that loved that and did that. But at this point, I even don't like rings, and usually not bracelets, but I have my Fitbit on. I do always like earrings and a necklace. But anyway, that's just a little side note of stuff. And I wish I could get rid of more stuff. I still have too much. But it's a process, right? So we're gentle with ourselves. There's some things I'm still attached to. Anything related to creativity and office supplies I keep, because I think, oh, I'm creating some great masterpiece. I need all of my supplies. And I'll also spend ridiculous amounts of money on that stuff because it supports my work. And anything that supports my work, I'm kind of obsessive about because I love working. So okay, so I want to get into the area you're organizing today, whatever area you want, of course, because this is a choose what you want. So if you're new to the challenge, you just make a list of six places you want to organize over the next 6 days, and then knowing your time schedule, you fit that in. So if you have a really busy day on Tuesday, you would do a light job like the glove box in your glove compartment in your car. If you have more time, like maybe you have 30 to 40 minutes, you can do empty out the freezer. So, you get the idea. Someone reminded me of the medicine cabinet. I think that's such a great idea. Get rid of all your expired medicines, and also supplement cabinets, which are often in the kitchen. Get rid of all your expired supplements or all the supplements you don't use anymore. Don't save supplements that you think you might use one day unless it's for a particular ailment. There are a lot of people I organize, so this is something I see a lot, that have whole cabinets full of supplements, and they don't want to let them go because they paid money for them. But if you're not using the program anymore, let it go. That is taking up space in your energy field, because there's a part of you that's like, maybe one day I'll do that again, and I'm just all for fresh. Even though, yes, when you throw something out, there will be one thing that you wish you would have kept. So what? For the price that you're paying right now to keep that stuff in your orbit, it's not worth it to save it and keep the clutter going. So that's on that note. Stuff has energy. The thing I wanted to talk to you today, because it's what I've been doing this weekend, is the paper clutter clearing and list clearing. That means little notes you write, the things you need to do, or maybe you have a typed up list. I'm not talking about actually clearing the list of to-dos. That's a whole nother subject, but I'm talking about getting the list in order, I guess, is more a better way to title that. So I started on mine yesterday, even though I'm still dealing with my health insurance thing, which is my to-do task that I'm clearing the clutter on, and hopefully that'll get done today because it's the last day for open enrollment here in California. Nothing like waiting till the last minute. My little procrastinator self, I forgive you. I forgive myself for judging myself. But I did start on the papers last night at around 11 and worked on them for a couple hours. Just the first thing you do with papers, if you have piles of papers, is you sort them into category, because our mind thinks in categories. I don't have any scientific evidence on this. I've just noticed the flow of my mind, and I think my mind is pretty normal compared to others. So what it is why we get overwhelmed with papers is we'll see like 4 different stacks and we don't know what to do. And then we start going through each, let me get my basket. We start going through each paper, and like this is my basket of all the loose lists to do. And we start going through and trying to knock off one thing at a time. And then we get to a bill and we're like, oh, I got to pay that bill. And then we get to a letter somebody wrote us and we're like, oh, let me read what they said. Then we get to this application we forgot to fill out for our insurance. And so by the time, you know, we know it, like let's say 2 hours later, we haven't even tackled 4 papers in the basket and we've been pulled in all these different directions. So the way you avoid that is you separate the papers into piles, right? So I'm going to give you my piles just so you can get an idea. You put like things together. So all my receipts, this is what I did last night. All my receipts go in one pile because I actually track all my spending. So, and I haven't done it in about 3 weeks. So I have a big project to catch up on. They all go in one pile. So that's ready to do when I'm in that mindset, ready to do my money stuff. All my health insurance papers, I've gotten several things in the mail. They all go in one pile. I'm trying to work on a will. So I have some instructions I printed from the internet and a couple flyers I got. That goes in one pile. Basically by projects you're putting it, you see. All calendar items, dates. I'm enrolled in school. There's a couple things I volunteer for. They send out info in an email about the dates. So I don't have to go back and reference that. I print that stuff. Now you guys can have your own system the way you do it, but I like to organize and put everything on my list in an orderly fashion because it's less stress for me. So when there's a 1-page document, I mean, I'm not going to print like a 10-page thing, but if there's a 1-page document with dates, I just print it and put it in a basket. So I have an basket, which is actually this kind of basket that's a collector basket for everything. And then ideally my goal is to once a week go through that basket and separate it and then take action, put it where it needs to be so I can take action. Right now that's not happening. It all goes kind of on a pile on my bed. When I feel I need to deal with it, which is maybe every month or 2, I go through this process of sorting it. I'd like to get better. We'll see how it goes in the new year. But the better system you have, the more likely you are to use it for sure. Okay. I'm implementing a couple new things like new files that I'm really excited about and a new planner that I'm excited about. So I'm really hoping that will make a big difference in my wanting to do this weekly, this clearing the capture inbox out. So, and also if you can't tell, I'm listening to Getting Things Done. It was a class I did several years ago, many years ago, but I just got the book on Audible by David Allen. It's called Getting Things Done. It's really great and it's helping me a lot. So I recommend that. Anyway, so these are the other categories I have. My handwritten notes, that's the basket I'm tackling first, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. Then I have a little pile for each of my businesses. I have the Inner Trio Connection, which is an online class I'm doing. I have my coaching and my coaching website, which I want to upgrade, and that's all one category. My home organizing business is a category. My clutter clearing challenge is a category because that's a project. And business cards are a category. Networking is a category. I have a class coming up in January that I'm designing right now called 2020 Glow or Glow 2020. I'm not sure what I'm calling it yet, but it's one of those two. And so those are kind of my lists. And then what I did, I'm just going to show you. This is all handwritten, obviously messy. I put the lists in order of what was priority for me today to work in the pile, not the list, the piles. So my priority today is to do my health insurance first thing right after I get off this Facebook Live. The second thing I'm doing is going through this basket here because it's got so many little notes. So you see, when all I do is I take the notes, I put them on, I have a digital to-do list that at some point we'll need some organizing too into someday maybe calls, emails, visits, out in the world errands, things like that. But for now, I'm just going to dump them on the list, and then I'll organize. That's a separate task for me. The goal for today is to get through this list and this basket, and it's quite a bit. So then the third thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work with my calendar and make sure my calendar's all up to date for as many things as I know that can go on the calendar. The next thing I'm going to do is organize my clutter clearing challenge stuff, because I still have 5 more days to walk you through, and I want to have a more clear curriculum, like today's paper and capture list clutter clearing, I should call it. And tomorrow I'm going to talk about why do we keep our stuff, and masculine and feminine energy around stuff. So I want to kind of write out the curriculum and have that a little more organized. And eventually I want to do a Canva book, ebook. So hopefully I'll get that done to send to you. Okay, so and then fifth on the list is another project that I have, the Inner Trio Connection class, and then working on the Glow project. But it's just organizing the piles. That's all. And when I say organizing the piles, it's going through the pile and eliminating anything that you don't need, that you have duplicates of, maybe ordering it if you need to, making some notes if you need to. But it's basically getting it so you feel good about that pile. And then I'm going to show you this, because I showed it, I think I shared it yesterday. And so this is my area. Look at this. Woo, wee girl. Uh-oh. Cancel. I accidentally pressed cancel. I mean, look, this is my life. So the one I want to show you is that's my file container now. I have actually 4 of those. My goal is to get down to 2, but I'm not good at letting go of paper. But they are pretty organized, I will say that. So hopefully you saw that good enough. It's hard for me to share a screen and trust. I have trust issues that you were able to see the view. But my goal, I'm not redoing my files today. That's a big job. I would love to do it before the end of the year, but I don't know if that's going to happen because I'm traveling a bit during the last 10 days of December. So I'm going to make it okay, whatever I do. But what I wanted to show you is that, why did I want to show you that? Everything's connected, I guess I wanted to say. So for now, I'm working on the individual piles of papers related to the projects, just getting them in order. And then I know why I wanted to, because that, sorry again, I know this is probably not the best video, what do you call it, etiquette, but I'm just going to do it. This little guy that I love so much is the hanging file little purse. I want to organize that with my projects, because that's what I'm working on, and I want to be able to take that wherever I go if I'm going somewhere, and just be able to have a movable hanging file that's organized, hanging file system that's organized. So I probably will make the labels for and organize my actual folders related to my work. I don't think I'll do it today, but this week I would love to. That will probably be more of what's another organizing project for me. Some of the ones have been put on the back burner are the spices in the pantry, because to be honest, they're not that disorganized. I probably will still do the pantry because of the food expiring. I want to check dates. But also the emergency kit I haven't done yet, but I wanted to go to Costco first, and I'm not wanting to go to Costco right now during the holidays. So we will see. That's what I wanted to share for today. I hope you have a very productive time organizing. Please reach out in the Facebook group if you need support. If you are feeling discouraged, if you are feeling great and proud of yourself, all of it's welcome at the table on our clutter clearing challenge. And invite friends. There's still time to join and jump in and get some things organized and cleared for the year. Okay. Yes, Renee. As Renee is asking where I got the whatchamacallit, hanging file basket. Great for travel. I think it's called Levenger. I Googled it. I think I called it a travel hanging file. Anyway, I can post the name in the group, Renee. That's what I'll do, because I can't think of the name of the place. It was like $80, but to me, like, it's really cute and very practical, and I'm really happy with it. So yeah, It's great. All right. Good to see you, and blessings to all. Bye.